to learn a lesson. You will see what Pa Adebanjo have to say when they are talking about competence. They are talking about competence. They said now they want a leadership. They want somebody who is going to rule Nigeria, a competent person, a competent hand to rule Nigeria, a competent hand. Somebody who's going. Listen to what Pa Adebanjo have to say about competence of who is supposed to rule Nigeria. When you talk about competence, who is supposed to rule Nigeria? Watch this video closely and hear what an elderly man, a statesman, Pa Adebanjo has to say. Watch.
You can't be the president. We'll go. Because they acquired that president under that constitution. And I'm going to lie. I saw him on the air yesterday saying there was that consensus among them. How Odudua is talking like that? If he has forgotten, we have not forgotten, it's on record. And do remind him, in 2014, when they were campaigning for Buhari, he said it was the tongue of the North. And when we have it for keep. I have quoted it in many press statements, and I was expecting him to deny. Is in the process of keeping it now, they are now doing for you. When it is now the turn of the South and the Southeast, they are now propounding a new theory. The question of merit, the question of all that. My dear, it was the question of merit. Who in the North? All of them. Hold on. From Balewa down, with Awolowo and Shagari and all that, if it's of merit, who will stand there? If there be based on merit today, the kingdoms come. The East alone will produce the president. I am saying all this to tell you that all this question, you go and sell yourself.
Did you hear him? Did you hear what Pa Adebanjo said? Pa Adebanjo said, and he made it clear, that if you are talking about merit, based on merit, that the Igbo people will continue to rule that country until thy kingdom come. Pa Adebanjo made it clear. He made it very clear that if you are talking about leadership based on merit in Nigeria, that no other tribe will have access to the presidency except the Igbos until thy kingdom come. He didn't miss word and said it. The man that said that word is from Odudua land. A 94 years old man, 95 years old man, who was there before independence. He is saying even from Tafawa Balewa downwards, even from Tafawa Balewa, to their highest anybody you can talk about in their place, that when you talk about qualification, competence, that who among them can be able to stand before the Biafran people, the Igbo Biafrans? That if you base it on confidence, on competence, when you base it on qualification, that there is nobody that will handle that post until thy kingdom come, it will remain in Biafran land, in Igbo land. That is the truth, the bitter truth. The bitter truth that even an Igbo man cannot say. The bitter truth that even the Igbo politicians cannot be able to defend. You see the kind of truth that is coming out from an elderly man, a statesman. This is what we call a statesman. This is what we call a statesman. He is not an Igbo man. He's an Odudua man from Odudua land. But he stands for the truth. Very, very consistent. Very, very consistent. Now you know why Mazen Nandekano talks so much about him. You know why Mazen Nandekano hold him to a very high esteem. Pa Adebanjo, the leader of Afenifere. Mazen Nandekano doesn't joke with him. Mazen Nandekano respects him so much. Pa Adebanjo, he hold him to a very high esteem. A man that has been very, very consistent from day one. Very consistent. Very, very consistent. He never changed his word. What he says today, he will say tomorrow, and next tomorrow call him, he will be saying the same thing. These kind of men are not easy to find. He is just one in a million. In the present contraption called Nigeria, it is very hard to find some people who can speak like him. Even in Biafra land, it is very, very difficult to find people who can speak boldly the way Pa Ayadobenjo is speaking. Raw truth, without missing one. Very consistent. What he said yesterday, he's saying today. Tomorrow, wake him up, he's going to say the same thing. This is what very good example of a statesman. But what lesson are you learning? All I'm showing you today is pointing to the fact that Nigeria can never ever work. That is what I'm trying to show you. Every video I'm playing here is pointing to the fact that Nigeria has ended. It has come to an end. It doesn't matter where you are. It doesn't matter what you believe. It doesn't matter whom you support. Begin to fight for your freedom. Wherever you belong. If you are from the southwest, join the Odudua people. You're from the southeast, old southeastern region, join the Biafra people. If you're from the north, join the Arewa. From the middle belt, join the middle belt region. Every place you belong, join your own people to fight for your freedom. Nigeria has ended long time ago. Nigeria has ended. It has ended. If you're deceiving yourself, still talking about one Nigeria or what kind of Nigeria you're talking about, it has ended. Stop deceiving yourself. Stop deceiving yourself. Nigeria has ended and gone. After watching this video, at the end of this video, go and replay it again and again. Listen to everything that Pa Ayadobenjo have to say. Then you begin to see the handwriting on the wall. Why you have to ask for a breakup of this contraption called Nigeria. Why you have to call to a breakup. Nigeria cannot survive. It cannot. The easiest thing you can get, the simplest remedy you can get is regional government. Restructuring to regional government, which they will never ever do. They will never ever do. The Fulani Caliphate will never support that. They will fight it, but they will declare war instead of that. And that is where they're heading to. They have already made the whole politician in the southern part of Nigeria to become scared. The whole politicians are now fighting themselves. Even when they know they cannot succeed. They are fighting themselves. That is why you have to stand up and speak up. And it doesn't end here. Pa Ayadobenjo is one in a million. A man that says it the way it is. And it doesn't end here. I have to show you again what he has to say about Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. What he said about Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, something that people in Biafra land, those politicians who are claiming to be going for presidency, cannot be bold enough to ask for. They cannot speak in that one. No politician, none of them, all the senators, no single one is exempted. None of them is bold enough to speak in the manner that Pa Ayadobenjo is speaking today, simply because of the election. Today we are in an electionary year, a time they want to look for a contract. They want to fight for contract. They want to fight for position. They want to look for their own money. They can no longer speak the truth. But Pa Ayadobenjo is speaking, even calling them to demand for the release of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. Lastly, what Pa Ayadobenjo has to say?
That all this question, you go and sell yourself, you go and campaign, you go and lobby. It's all rigmarole. They know the truth. And that's why I criticize some of your leaders. Campaign, and they say go and lobby. It's all rigmarole. Go and release Nnamdi Kanu. And I said, what has he done? For saying he wants independence for his people. The Irish people who have been together since 1707, they say they still want to break from Great Britain. Their leader is sitting in the same parliament with the prime minister now. They are arguing together. What has happened in Nigeria? You go and waylay the man, you commit murder, you commit high robbery, you commit banditry, and to the extent you banned him. Is that democracy? Is that the man who says he's born again Democrat? Let us tell him the problem in the country today is Buhari. And until he goes away, there will be no peace. My dear, I don't expect you to say this. They will say we are bluffing. But that is the truth. Everybody said, they haven't got the men. They have not shown them. Although I don't like all the people who came out from this, but for the fact that they say you have no people, I'm happy you demonstrate that. But you must go and unite. You must go and unite. You must go and unite.
You had him. You saw Paaya Adebanjo making a case for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Paaya Adebanjo speaking up for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, asking them, what has he done wrong? What wrong has Mazi Nnamdi Kanu done? Asking for the freedom of his own people, asking for the independence of his own region. Is that a crime? Paaya Adebanjo making a case for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu openly. But when you see the politicians in Biafra land, they will tell you they're working on the ground. Every single one of them that is campaigning for presidency today, doing whatever they are doing, none of them mentions Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. They are so scared, and that is why the caliphate will tell them that they have no men. That is why the caliphate will say that they have not seen any men, that the Southeast have not presented any men to come and represent them. Of course, they have no men. They have not presented any men. If you're a man, you have to demand for the freedom of your brother first. You have to speak up for the incarceration, illegal incarceration of your brother. If they were men, they have to demand for the freedom of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Talk about the incarceration of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu because he has not committed any crime. But every one of them is scared. Every one of them is livid. And after the caliphate have seen you with all those fears, you think they will respect you? You think they will listen to you? You think they will give you an opportunity? Of course they will not. All the respect they have been enjoying all this while is because of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. It is because of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu that they have been, it seems as if they have been respected all this while. But today, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have been kidnapped and kept into the dungeon, being tortured in DSS, and no single man, no single politician, not even one, is speaking of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. This is a gathering where every one of them gathered to talk about the 2023 election. Look at a man, Paaya Adebanjo, the chieftain of the Afenifere, leader of Afenifere, making a case for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, asking the government, what crime has Mazi Nnamdi Kanu committed that you have to go and beg for his release? What crime has he committed? What crime has Mazi Nnamdi Kanu committed? He is asking openly. But when you see the idiots who call themselves politicians in Biafra land, they will say they are doing something on the ground. What nonsense are you doing on the ground? What stupid thing are you doing on the ground? Because of your selfishness, because of your envy, because of your jealousy, because of what you eat, because of what you eat, because of ordinary position that belongs to you. You want to beg for it. They are giving you condition. Up to the extent I was telling you that you don't have men. And you see Paaya Adebanjo calling for unity, telling them to go and unite together. Telling the Biafrans to go and unite, the Igbo Biafrans to go and unite. Paaya Adebanjo advising us. Something that the Ohanes and Igbo cannot do. Something that Ohanes and Igbo are supposed to do, they're not doing it. Look at Paaya Adebanjo speaking boldly and loudly, speaking with authority. A man of 94, 95 years plus. He was there before independence. He saw it all. And he's speaking up for us, speaking up for the Igbo people. And he's speaking up for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, calling for the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, asking what has he committed. You see why every one of us have to stand up. I would like to play that version again. I want to play it again. I want to play it again so they can listen carefully. See Paaya Adebanjo making a case for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, something that nobody in Biafra land is doing. Something that no politician or anybody is not doing. Paaya Adebanjo is doing it openly before the whole world, where the Igbo people have gathered to talk about their 2023 election. That is where he's making this very broadcast. Watch it again.
This question, you go and sell yourself, you go and campaign, you go and lobby. It's all rigmarole. They know the truth. And that's why I criticize some of your leaders. Campaign, and they say go and lobby. It's all rigmarole. You go and release Nnamdi Kanu. And I said, what has he done? For saying he wants independence for his people.
You had him? What has he done?
Who have been together since 1707. They said
what has Mazi Nnamdi Kanu done?
Great Britain. Their leader is sitting in the same parliament with the Prime Minister now. They are arguing together. What has happened in Nigeria? You go and waylay the man, you commit murder, you commit high robbery, you commit banditry, and so they say you bandit. Is that democracy? Is that the man who says he's born again Democrat? Let us tell him the problem in the country today is Buhari. And until he goes away, there will be no peace.
You heard him, you saw the bravery. You heard him directly. He is not missing word when he's talking. He is speaking truth to the authorities. Say it the way it is without missing word. He's not looking back. He's not looking back. This is why our Supreme Damasin Nani can respect him so much and hold him to a high esteem. He talks so much about him. A very consistent man. Now you see why we have to get out of this very controversial called Nigeria. These people are the people that know the truth, but they have refused the truth. They rejected the truth. They know the truth very well, but they rejected the truth. They went to the extent of kidnapping the truth, send the truth in jail, and they are torturing the truth today. Mazen Danikana is the truth, the symbol of justice. What does that show you? Nigeria can never ever survive. Everybody have to begin to fight and speak up. Speak up, speak up, speak up for your freedom. Fight the best way you can. This is not the time to keep quiet. It's not the time to begin to listen to gossip. It's not the time to begin to look at your shoulder and talk about your brother and your sister. It is the time to action. Time for action. Time for action. It is time for action. Anything you know you can do to make sure that this very contraption called Nigeria break into pieces, go ahead and do it. Just as we are sitting at home every Monday to make sure that Mazen Nankan is released, it is our responsibility on our own, Biafrans on their own, without being forced, willingly are sitting at home every Monday until Mazen Nankan is being released. We get our referendum. That is a very good step to follow. And Biafrans are following it every Monday. We will continue to do so. We will continue to do so. Let me tell you, even the British that created that very company called Nigeria know that it will not survive. They know, the British themselves know that Nigeria has ended, can never survive. They know. They know. But human being what they are, everybody is protecting his own. Everybody is talking about his own self-preservation. They don't care about you. Britain don't care about you as a Nigerian who preaching one Nigeria. They don't care about you. One Nigeria benefits them. One Nigeria benefits them, so they don't care about you. The United States, one Nigeria benefit them. The European Union, one Nigeria benefit them. They don't care about you or care about me. They care about themselves. And you blame them. People have to put themselves first. But you, that you are one Nigerian in that country called Nigeria, have you put yourself first? Why can't you put your own self first? Put yourself first. Put yourself and your life first before you can begin to talk about another person. If you're an Odudua person, put Odudua first. A Biafran, put a Biafran first. From the middle belt, put middle belt first. Fight for your own region, first of all, before any other thing. That is the right thing to do. Because even the people that created you know that it will never work. After all, they gave you an expiring date. The time have expired. Why are you not asking out? And for you who have forgotten, I want to play another important video from our spring that Mazen Nandekan. Listen to the message that Mazen Nandekan preached. Why Nigeria has ended and will never survive. Listen to what Mazen Nandekan has to say. Maybe you will recollect and come back to your senses. Let's listen.
There is something written in the Times newspaper, and I want this thing to be published, please. I want it to be published tonight, immediately. I want it published on my page. I want people to understand a letter that was written in the Times of London. July 15, 1998. I repeat, the Times of London, Wednesday, July 15, 1998. Let me read it for you. It was written by a white man. You understand? Written by a white man. His name is Peter Smithers. Peter, P-E-T-E-R. You have Peter. Smithers is S-M-I-T-H-E-R-S. He wrote it. He was writing to the British government. He's a white man, he's British. As I said before, the British people are very conscientious people. An average Briton is a nice human being. An average Englishman. an average Scottish man, an average Welshman, an average Irishman. They are wonderful, beautiful people. But once you take them away from the streets of London, or Belfast, or Glasgow, or Edinburgh, as the case may be, or Cardiff, and you put them in the Foreign and Commonwealth Office, dealing with colonial matters or dealing with Africa, they turn into beasts, they turn into monsters. I don't know why. Somebody wrote a letter. It's called the Nigerian Lesson. This is in the Times of London. As I repeat, Times of London, Wednesday, July 15, 1998. Somebody kindly sent it to me, and I'll read it so that the whole world may hear. This is from Sir Peter Smithers. He's a knight of the realm. The proper sir, not the sir you have in the zoo. Only the guy come up with a chair knight, you know. These are the proper, these are the knights of the realm of the British Empire. Now listen. Sir, I'm now reading verbatim the letter written by Sir Peter Smithers to the Times newspaper of London. Listen, sir, during the negotiations for the independence of Nigeria, the view of the Secretary of State at that time, with which I agreed, was that in Nigeria, we should attempt to put together a large and powerful state with ample material resources which will play a leading part in the affairs of the continent and of the world. This was attractive, but it involved forcing several different ethnic and cultural groups into a single political structure. The negotiations were complex and very difficult. The chief problem, as I recall or I remember, relating significantly to the control of the police and of the military. Listen carefully, please. In the retrospect of 40 years, it is clear that this was a grave mistake, which has cost many lives and will probably continue to do so. It would have been better to establish several smaller states in a free trade area. Even some British people realized after 40 years of failed experiment called Nigeria. Sir Peter Smithers, who worked in the zoo colonial desk, he is writing, we wanted to build a country that is so big that we can control, more or less. And that very big country, our problem then was who to give the police and the army to. And they gave it to Fulani. The man is now saying, with hindsight, after 40 years, many people, he wrote this thing in 1998, oh, not 2020, 1998. This white man knew that Fulanis were using army and police to kill people in 1998. He said, after 40 years of this experiment called Zoo, Nigeria, that they created, that it is a mistake. White man is a mistake. Now, he said, we should have gone for small states. Now, this goes back to our Aburi conference. Our people should be able to reason. This was the reason why Britain said no to Aburi. Because Aburi was about confederation. Ojukwu went to Aburi, agreed confederation, came back home in Enugu, and go and launched a war instead of implementing that Aburi that would have allowed smaller nations to emerge, but in a free trade zone called Nigeria. Gowon said no because British told him to say no. Because Britain wanted a large country that has influence in Africa that they can control, but to achieve that control, they needed to place the military and the police in the hands of the Janjaweed, Fulani, Miyetiala. And that was what they did. And that is why we are suffering till today. This man said people are dying. Let me continue.
You have heard from Asuda Mazen Nandekan. That is not all the message. I'm going to play the other version of the message so that you can get the point clear. That what is happening today, you are seeing today, didn't start today. The destruction you are seeing today, the failure of Nigeria have come a very long way. Even the British that created this contraction called Nigeria know that it has failed. They know very well that it has failed. But the selfish politicians in Nigeria are still planning to hold it together because that is how they get their fraudulent money. That is how they fund their fraudulent life, their evil lifestyle. That is how they fund it. That is why they will never allow it to break up. Nigeria has ended. If you don't know, know it very well after hearing from Asunda Mazinanda.
Did not then have the examples of the collapse of Yugoslavia and of Soviet Union before our eyes. In other words, the man is saying that Nigeria, the zoo you have, Nigeria to some of you, is the same thing as Yugoslavia, the same thing as Soviet Union. And it is bound to collapse. That is what this man is lamenting in 1998. He is saying, we did not have the benefit of the collapse of Soviet Union or Yugoslavia to tell us what to do in the case of the animals in the zoo, Nigeria. Are you listening? This is from a British man, a high-ranking officer. He is a sir, he's a knight of the realm, Sir Peter Smithers. I will continue. It should now be clear for all, but the willfully blind. This is how intelligent this man is saying. It is clear to everybody, to both cockroach and rat, okay, Mochicha, everybody knows it is clear, unless you're living in denial, unless you are a denier of the truth, unless you are foolish. This is from a white man, please, not me. Unless you are willfully blind to see that it is extremely dangerous to force diverse racial and social entities into a single rigid political structure such as that which is being built upon the foundation of the Maastricht Treaty. This man was saying the reason why Britain left the EU, the reason why Britain opposed, some of you don't know what is Maastricht Treaty, but I will tell you some other day. It was a treaty of European Union that Britain refused to sign. This man is saying the same mistakes of the past we are about to repeat. What is that mistake? To willfully join together. He said it is extremely dangerous. A white man is saying is that Nigeria as it exists today, Nigeria, is extremely dangerous because you are forcing diverse racial and social entities into a single rigid political structure that is unsustainable. Now, recent history, according to this man, Peter Smithers, sir, of course, he's a knight of the realm. Recent history suggests that it would be best to complete the development of the common market and to call a halt to political integration in Europe. These are the people of Brexit. They don't want Britain to be a part of one big political superstructure. The man is saying the same thing we built in Nigeria that is costing lives. And who is this man that wrote this? He said, I am, sir, your obedient servant, Sir Peter Smithers. Listen to his title. Parliamentary Private Secretary to the Minister of State and the Secretary of State in the Colonial Office from 1952 to 1959. And he lives in Vico Makote in Switzerland. Are you listening? These are people that knew that putting a country together, people of diverse social backgrounds. In Igbo land, am I the same thing with a Fulani man? The answer is no. I am related to Efik, to Ibibu. I'm related to Asian, as they call it, to I am related to Igbo, the people who are there. I have relationship with Urobo. I know I can relate to Isoko culture. I can relate to Ishekiri culture. But can I relate to Fulani culture? The answer is no. Maybe even to an extent, I can relate to Yoruba culture, Odudua culture, to an extent. But do you think I can ever relate to Fulani culture? Of course the answer is no. Because Fulani runs a feudal system, a rank-added system, where one big man stays at the top and gives you tea in the morning and asks you to go and stone somebody and you go and do it. That's what they do. Do you see the difference between an egalitarian society and one that is so structured that order will come from the emir or from the Sadiki or whoever? We are not like that. That is not democracy. And that value system was what the Fulanis brought to Asorok. These are the things that your so-called social scientists and your political analysts don't understand. What is playing out in Asorok today is the same Janjaweed feudal system, where one person stays at the top and just keeps distributing money that they did not work for. Money that they didn't earn. That is what is happening in the zoo. That same thing was what they brought to the center in Asorok, and some of you are too blind to see it. When we tell you that the zoo, Nigeria is unworkable, try to understand there is no nation on this earth where you have divergent values, divergent cultures and traditions welded together into a nation is a lie.
Thank you, my fellow Biafrans. I hope you have heard from Aspila Mazen. I had to play his voice today so that we can hear from him once again. Every single thing you see our father Bahaya Debanjo saying was exactly in translation to what Mazen Nandekano have said in the past. Mazen Nandekano have been preaching a simple message of the truth, revealing the evil in the land and telling them, let my people go. Is that a crime? That is not a crime. Self-determination is not a crime anywhere. It's not a crime in the international community. It's not a crime in African general law. It's not a crime. Even in Nigerian law, self-determination is not a crime. But these people have demonized it, made it a crime because of Mazen Nandekano, because an Igbo person is asking for freedom. A freedom that they themselves were the very first people that asked for breakup. The northern people were the very first people that asked for breakup. Go and read the history when they talk about Araba. Aya Debanjo have said it in this very video. Aya Debanjo talked about the Araba. It was the northern people that first of all talked about the breakaway from the contraption called Nigeria. But today, because of that same reason, Mazen Nandekano has been put under lock and key. Mazen Nandekano is facing torture on daily basis. And it's unacceptable. We can't accept that. The Chukwu Okike guide and protect every Biafran that is watching the video, wherever you're watching from. Please share the video in your platform, share it to family and friends, share it to everybody so that they can get this message across. We must continue to ask for the release of Mazen Nandekano, unconditional release of Mazen Nandekano. Sit at home on Monday, a compulsory assignment for every Biafran. On our own, nobody's going to force you. Nobody's coming to force you, but it's something that you are supposed to do as a Biafran, living in Biafra land. We know it is not easy. There's a lot of challenges that are faced with it. There are a lot of challenges, there are a lot of obstacles, but it's worth it. Freedom doesn't come cheap. Freedom comes with sacrifice. And there is no sacrifice is too much to pay for freedom. That is why we are calling on everybody. Anything you know you can do to make sure that Biafra comes, go ahead and continue to do it. Go ahead and continue to do it. If you can pray more. If you can fast, whatever you can do it until Biafra comes. Thank you so much for watching wherever you are watching from. And I say, may Chukwu Okike guide and protect you. Every Biafran, every Odudua, every Metropolitan, Chukwu Okike will protect you. Everybody that is watching from any angle, Chukwu Okike will prosper you and guide and protect you. May Chukwu Okike guide and protect us. Secure him and bring him back to us very soon. Thank you so much for watching. And remember, blessed. See you again tomorrow by the special grace of Chukwu Okike. Bye-bye.
Are yet to wake up from your slumber or your sleep and get the point that we are exiting Nigeria. Exiting Nigeria is not going to come from the platter of golden plate. You have to sacrifice for it. And we are ready to sacrifice everything, including you, if you come and stand on the way of freedom. So you need to know how serious we are. We are damn serious. Some of you are not getting it. You think we are here to build political movement? We are here for freedom. Freedom comes with price. Okay? The only thing you can do is to comment on social media. Don't ever stand on the way of Biafra freedom. We crush you.
Their interest is suppressed. Biafra is the key. Once they can hold Biafra down, they can hold all of Africa down. Hey, freedom fighting, sorry. Because all these people are criminals, they are saying there is no way this man cannot be a criminal like themselves. They don't have a different breed altogether. They don't know that. I am Nnamdi Kanu. I don't do all this nonsense you do. My father was a very rich man, not ostentatious. I had the finest education that his money could afford. We are not poor. Have never been. That is why a poor man cannot be a freedom fighter. If you're not full of yourself, you cannot be a freedom fighter. You have to go everywhere. We must continue.